Welcome back. If you are watching this video have been offered admission to Georgia Tech, then congratulations. We cannot wait to welcome you here to our wonderful campus. Now, one of your next steps is finding housing. This video will hopefully help inform you about housing options around campus. And whether you are a recent admit or not, this video is still a great resource if you're planning to move to Atlanta. Before we get started, I would like to let you know that the experience and perspectives offered here in this video are only for informational purposes and should be viewed as a starting point rather than a final word. We understand that there are so many factors that go into choosing a place to live. Only you will know what works best for you. Our HCI community is full of peers that are here to support, so I hope that you will find that perspective helpful. We'll be talking about 5 areas today, which is the main campus, Midtown, North Campus, West Campus, and downtown just below the main campus.
Hi, my name is Vanchika and I'll be introducing main campus to you. This is most common for freshmen and any student prioritizing convenience. So now on to pros. The first thing is it's convenient because it is literally on campus, so you can wake up 10 minutes before class and still make it in time. Second, safety. It's patrolled 24/7 by GTPD and there are blue light emergency phones everywhere. Easy access to food and groceries. You'll have easy access to dorm food and there's a huge Publix nearby, so you can actually just walk up and get your groceries. Social life, it's the easiest way to make friends because there'll be a lot of people your age in the dormitories. And lastly, utilities, water bills, your food, your internet bills, all of that is going to be inclusive in one big bill. So it's kind of all inclusive, so it's pretty useful that way. Okay, now on to cons. It is a little bit more expensive, so that is one of the biggest cons there. The other big thing is lack of privacy. A lot of these dormitories have shared bathrooms and shared bedrooms, so those communal spaces you might have to share. The other big thing is strict policy and rules. Every main campus dormitory has a resident assistant, which sort of overlooks the entire space. And there are strong policies on guests and alcohol, so there are some strict housing policies. And lastly, I think the housing lottery is a big thing. Your room on campus is just based on luck, so you either get it or you don't get it, so you might be waiting for a very long time and you wouldn't know if you won the lottery. So yeah, apart from these are some of the cons that you should consider if you are thinking of living on main campus. But I think it's up to you to decide whether how you wanna balance out the pros and cons. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Lucky and I'm going to talk about the East Campus living in Atlanta. This includes Midtown, Piedmont, Spring Street, and those areas. So first I'll start with some of the pros of living in Midtown. The walkability is such a great pro. It's so nice to be able to walk to campus and to a lot of grocery stores. You're able to walk back with your groceries, which is great. You don't always need a car. Also, the proximity to the MARTA stations is super helpful. It takes you to a lot of areas around Atlanta, and also the Stinger buses also come sort of towards East Campus so that you're able to grab the Stinger buses if you want to navigate around campus. Another pro of living in Midtown are the great amenities that some of the apartments have. So you'll see that a lot of these apartments have luxury gyms, great pools, and large communal areas for residents to enjoy. And this is really great because sometimes you don't have to get a gym membership or a pool membership. It's all in your apartment. Another pro is that the vibe of Midtown is super professional. You'll notice that you're around a lot of startups and corporate offices in case you're feeling inspired. So it's a nice area to be in if you want proximity to those. Because Midtown is so close to Georgia Tech's campus, we enjoy a lot of the benefits from GTPD and keeping us safe, which is super nice. So it's a generally safe environment to be in. It's always nice to have situational awareness in the night anywhere in Atlanta, but it is a generally safe area to live in Midtown. So now I'll talk about some of the cons of living in Midtown. The first one is the price. You'll notice that Midtown apartments are generally more expensive than a lot of other apartments in Atlanta and even on campus, so that's something to consider if you want to live in Midtown. Another con is after you move to Atlanta, you'll notice that Spring Street and Piedmont Street are some of the busiest roads in Atlanta, so if you're going to live in these areas, be prepared for a higher level of noise, but it is easy to use earplugs in the night if you're a light sleeper, but that's just something to consider.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and today I'm going to tell you about the North Campus neighborhoods of Home Park and Atlantic Station. First, if you want to live close to campus but you don't want to pay Midtown prices, this area is great for you. You'll have a bit of a longer walk, but it's nothing too crazy. And if you ever need to take the Stinger bus, then the green route has a stop that's pretty close to where you're living. Now, a few cons for Home Park and Atlantic Station are that the crime rates tend to be slightly higher than on-campus housing, and those crimes consist of petty crime and car break-ins. Also, the houses in this area tend to be quite a bit older, so unfortunately that comes with maintenance and pest control issues.
Hi everyone, I'm Midhavi and I'm going to talk to you about West Campus or West Midtown. So there are a lot of furnished and unfurnished apartments available here, even some which are non-student focused. If you want a quieter location, then this is the place to be because it's less quieter than Midtown and Tech Square. There are a lot of good restaurant options, so there's Chiba Hut, Food Terminal, Velvet Taco. And on the con side, there are very few shuttle connectivity options. So if you're not living near CRC and if you're living further away, then you might need a bike or a car or even using the Georgia Tech Stinger to travel to campus.
Hi, I'm Monsi. So to give you some context, if you want to live downtown, it's a great place for a lot of Atlanta tourist spots. In particular, the Centennial Olympic Park is there, so the Olympic rings are there if you want to see that. There's also the Atlanta Coca-Cola Museum, which is really fun. The aquarium is right next door. And so there's a lot of tourist things that you can do. There's a children's museum, there's some food places, restaurants, and there are some bakeries. There's Hansel and Gretel Bakery, which is really close by to the park and within walking distance. There's a Ferris wheel. Now with that, some cons of living in that area is that you are going to probably have to have a car or some other mode of transportation to get your groceries. It is not going to be as convenient as if you're living in Midtown where you have Publix in a walkable distance. So just keep that in mind. Another plus though is that it is a quiet, more residential area. But then again, that can also be a con of if you feel safe and comfortable at night. There are students who do live in downtown as well, so you're more than welcome to reach out to some of the students that already live here or that are part of the cohort if you have any questions about living downtown. But yeah, hope that helps.
Next, let's hear some of the advice from our current student.
Housing's gonna be expensive anyway, so definitely prioritize your safety over saving a few bucks.
Always check for hidden fees because the price you see on the website is rarely the price you'll actually have to pay.
Make sure you search where and how to get groceries.
Once you get accepted to the HCI program, you'll be invited to join your cohort Slack channel, and you can find roommates that way as well.
Atlanta is a city full of things to do. It's a magnet for massive events. So don't be surprised if your usual flow gets interrupted by the next big game or convention.
There are so many ways to find housing, like the Georgia Tech off-campus housing website or Facebook groups. Just be careful of scammers.
Make sure you check the quiet hour policies, and if you can, do an in-person tour and try to chat up current residents without the leasing staff around to get the real story. Or you can always browse Reddit for some honest reviews.
So while you can find housing as late as just a month before the semester, it's always good to start early so you can secure the place that you want.
Finally, try to avoid living with total strangers. It's always better to meet the people you're going to live with first.
Thank you for watching. We hope that this video can help navigate your housing search around Georgia Tech. And lastly, once again,
Welcome to Georgia Tech.
welcome to Georgia Tech.